Hello, and welcome back to The Myth Within. I'm Dr. Tom, and I'm very grateful that you joined me here today. Today we're going to start with a citation from Meister Eckhart. Be willing to be a beginner every single morning. Be willing to be a beginner every single morning. Every morning I start my day off with a morning gratitude prayer, and I go through a list of things to be grateful for. This really begins to set the stage in a spiritual essence for my day to come. I find it's important to position myself into a sense of gratitude, psychologically speaking, in order to uplift spirit. There are specific things that happen when one engages a gratitude practice. Number one, the feelings within bring back memories that need to be touched upon as a means to create those feel-good moments that you've had in the past. When you begin to honor those, you set the stage, molecularly speaking, for good feelings to arise. The feel-goods, the endorphins begin to release as one goes back through things that there is need to be grateful for. As we begin new mornings each day, it's imperative to start it with a sense of gratitude, because this brings us back to that sense of awe, that sense of wonder that children naturally have. When a child looks up to the sky for the first time, you could just see the analysis going. As they look at stars for the first time, they're in a sense of wonderment, and they're trying to make sense of the world that is. Now, when we as adults look at the vastness of the universe, there's a lot of experience behind that. Sometimes education gets in the way of our seeing the wonderment that truly is just above our heads. As we look up to the stars, to the planets. And because of this conceptualization, because of this contextualization, we lose the capacity to see life's beginning each single day. We lose the capacity to see the wonderment that happens as nightfall changes to dusk, as the nighttime, the darkest hours of the night, change to day. And when we begin to see from the eyes of the perspective of beginning a new day, beginning new ventures, having new beginnings each and every moment, what ends up happening is a sense of gratitude really begins to establish. And when we begin to wonder again, we begin to engage that higher aspect of self that really calls upon us to move into the psychological perspective. Now, while it's imperative to begin each morning with a sense of gratitude as a means to uplift spirit, we also have to have new beginnings each morning as it relates to our mental and our physical capacity. So everything that you have been up until this point is manifested right now in your life as you see it. Now, what can we do physically to move that into a different direction? Now, mental capacities will only take us so far. Mental capacities can only give us a vision. The spirit is that element of faith that moves us towards that vision, but ultimately we have to create the means within the body to get to that destination. So it's imperative also to begin to prime the psyche, to prime the soul each morning within its mental capacities as well as its physical capacities. So how do we honor mind in the morning? Some exercises that I engage in each morning is to read some inspirational journeys, to watch some inspirational videos, possibly on YouTube, as well as to read scripture and myth to get that underpinning of We're not quite alone in this journey. In fact, most of the stuff that any of us are going through could be found in the tenets of mythology, of mythical stories, or stories of religious significance. Now, this begins to spiritually and emotionally prime the psyche for the work to come. There's one more element that really begins to create the journey unfolded. That is the nurturing of the physical body. Now, the physical body needs two elements to create the means for its success. It needs nurturing through forms of nutrition that we put into it. It also needs movement, because the more movement the body gets, the more it is able to turn energy into a productive means. And so when we begin to move, when we nurture the body in essence and become mindful of the things that we are partaking in, we really create the means by which the physical movement will get us towards that destination where we're putting faith in that vision that our mind put before us. Now, these are three pillars of success. They acclimate around body, mind, and spirit. These form the foundation, really, of self-love habits that attract our bigger self, our smaller self, towards our bigger self, that self we want to become. In conclusion, I'm going to end with a poem that I absolutely love from the Persian poet Hafez. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. Universally speaking, look at what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. If the sun could give that form of generosity and gratitude towards its neighboring planet, the Earth, can we not afford a little bit of that same generosity and loving kindness to ourselves? As Meister Eckhart said, be willing to be a beginner every single morning. The earth does that around the sun, and the sun never expects anything in return. It just gives natural warmth, love, and kindness. Let us give ourselves a little kindness today. Do something to honor the soul. Do something to honor the spirit. Engage the body in physical activity. Nurture the body through loving kindness. Give yourself a little bit of emotional break. And make sure you include a little bit of spiritual exercises in there. This will give you vision, faith in your capacity to engage that vision, and the physical willingness to move yourself to see its reality. Until next time, I wish you namaste, my friends, and I hope that many blessings find you as you advance confidently in the direction of your dreams. Thank you for joining me.